I still think they may have a hard time getting a jury unanimously to convict. After all, everyone agrees it was a mistake. Yes, that can still be criminal. But it also makes it harder to get a conviction. He was told the gun had no live rounds. This was that recreation of the shooting. The family of Halyna Hutchins responded to the news saying, quote, "We want to thank the Santa Fe sheriff and the district attorney for concluding their thorough investigation and determining the charges of involuntary manslaughter are warranted for the killing of Halyna Hutchins with conscious disregard for human life. Our independent investigation also supports charges are warranted. It's a comfort to the family that in New Mexico, no one's above the law." Now, the tone of that statement and apparent blaming of Alec Baldwin is a bit surprising, given that they had agreed to a settlement with him in their civil case that involves finishing up the film with Matthew Hutchins, Halyna's widower, as executive producer, and Baldwin still acting in it. Joining me once again is Jennifer Burrill, the president-elect of the New Mexico Criminal Defense Lawyers Association. Thanks for coming back on the show. Appreciate it. All right, so you predicted last night that there would be an involuntary manslaughter charge. Are you surprised that they also went for this even harsher potential involuntary manslaughter charge with the gun enhancement that could lead to a mandatory 5 years and maybe even more?
I think the gun enhancement is a perversion of the statute. The statute actually says that the jury has to find that the firearm was used in the commission of a non-capital felony. So there's no underlying felony here. It's made for things like somebody who robs a 7-Eleven. They want to encourage you not to use a gun when you rob it. So when we charge the involuntary manslaughter, it can be a lawful act that was negligently resulted in somebody's death. And in this situation, there's no underlying felony. I think we're going to see a lot of defense motions to get that kicked.
And it sounds like you think a judge may even throw out that charge before trial?
I do. I think both of them is a double jeopardy issue. The prosecutor will more than likely say that that's a sentencing issue, but there's good case law here in New Mexico that says that needs to be addressed before it goes to the jury because it can be prejudicial for the defendant to have both of those charges read to the jury.
Do you think this is just a tactic to try to get a plea agreement? And if it is, do you think that's real? You think a plea deal here is a realistic possibility?
I think it might be a realistic possibility for the person with less resources. So Ms. Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, right? But Alec Baldwin has a ton of resources. And so I think it's very unlikely that he'll plea.
Really? I mean, if he was offered, I would think it's not unrealistic. You tell me if you think this is unrealistic based on the charges, that he could get offered a misdemeanor, negligent use of a firearm, and get no jail time as a result of a deal. Do you think, prosecutors would offer that?
Yeah, I think that's totally reasonable. But I do think that from the statements that he continues to make and the statement that came out from SAG today, that, under kind of California rules, if he didn't know it was there, the bullet was in the weapon, then he's not liable. And I don't think that's the way the law actually works here in New Mexico. When he said in that statement that you showed that he would never pull the trigger, basic gun safety says you never point a gun at anyone unless you're prepared to kill him.
Right, but what do you make?
So I think, there's a different standard here in New Mexico than we're going to see in California.
Right, but what do you make of the argument that as an actor it's different, right? In just about every other situation, the person holding a weapon is responsible for that weapon. It is your responsibility to know. What do you make of the argument that when it comes to an actor, where someone else his job is to be the safety person on a set, it's another person's job to load the weapon, it's another person's job to call out and identify whether the weapon has any live bullets in it, that as a result, it's different when it comes to an actor?
I think those are made up Hollywood rules. I don't think those rules are going to fly here in New Mexico. We all know that basic gun safety says you don't point a gun at somebody unless you're ready to kill them.
So it sounds like you think that he is in real trouble, potentially, with regard to the lesser of the two involuntary manslaughter charges.
Yes, I think that, we've talked for a year and a half now that that's likely what was going to come out of it. And based on his own statements, which I was kind of surprised that he made because he has the right to remain silent, he walked right into that layout. I think it is still going to be an uphill battle here because this has been playing out for so long. There's nothing that shows it was malicious. So I think, jurors are going to have a really hard time convicting on this, but I think it's a fair charge.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.